What made you finally stand up to your parents? I grew up in a house where family came first, no matter what. That was the rule. And in our culture, you didn't question your parents. You just didn't. I had a huge extended family, and we saw them constantly. Almost every weekend, we were all crammed into someone's house for hours, eating, talking, and doing the same things over and over. It didn't leave a lot of room for having my own life. By the time I was in high school, I realized I wasn't like the other girls. They stayed after school, went to parties, hung out at the mall. I always had to go straight home. If there was a family dinner or a gathering, I wasn't allowed to skip it. My parents said it was dangerous to be out, that I didn't need friends when I had so much family. I never argued because I was raised to believe they knew what was best. When I graduated high school, I got into my dream college. It was out of state, and for a moment, I let myself imagine going. I told my parents about it, and they smiled. They said they were proud of me, and for a second, I thought maybe they would let me go. But then they told me it was too far. They said I'd be lonely. They thought it was better if I stayed close to home. So I did. I turned down the offer and went to community college instead. That's where I met Jason. He was funny and smart, and we just clicked. We started hanging out after class, and I found myself making excuses to stay on campus longer. Eventually, we started dating. I was nervous about telling my family because I had never been in a relationship before. And Jason wasn't from our culture, which I knew would raise a few eyebrows. When I finally introduced him, everyone was surprisingly nice. My parents said he was respectful. Even my aunt, who always had something negative to say, couldn't find anything wrong. I thought that maybe things were changing. But they weren't. Jason and I barely got time together. Almost every weekend, there was some family thing I had to go to. If we did manage to hang out, I had to leave early. Jason tried to be patient. He said he understood. He kept hoping things would get better. So did I. 3 years passed. Nothing changed. One night, we sat in his car outside my house. He was quiet for a long time before he finally spoke. He said he couldn't keep doing this. We were in our 20s, but it still felt like I had a curfew. He said he loved me, but he wanted a real relationship, not one where he had to wait around for my family to give me permission to live my life. I didn't know what to say. I told him I had to listen to my parents. That was just how things worked. He said he couldn't wait forever. I didn't sleep that night. I kept thinking about how much I loved him, and how much of my life I had spent doing what everyone else wanted. The next day, I told my parents we needed to talk. I told them they couldn't keep treating me like a child. I told them Jason and I were having problems because of their rules. My dad got angry. My mom cried. They said if Jason had a problem with how they did things, then maybe he wasn't the one for me. They said I was being disrespectful, ungrateful. They reminded me of everything they'd done for me. I stood there, shaking, but I didn't back down. I told them it wasn't fair. That they had controlled my entire life, and I wasn't going to let them anymore. I said I was moving in with Jason. They said I couldn't because we weren't married. They said if I left now, I couldn't come back. I cried as I packed my things. I cried as I walked out the door. For a while, I was sad. I missed my family. I missed the comfort of having them close, even if it came with strings. But I also felt free for the first time. I could be with Jason without asking permission. I could make my own choices. It wasn't easy. But it was worth it.